Hey, it's Captain Jimbo Thomas here aboard the Thomas Flyer with the Florida Insider Fishing Report in the Southeast region. Well, down here in the Southeast region, we do catch a lot of kingfish and we get the occasional wahoo. So they have teeth, so you need to use a piece of wire to avoid cutoffs most of the time when we're catching those. So what we like to do aboard the Thomas Flyer, got a piece of number 5 wire leader. We buy pre-cut, pre-straightened leader. You can go with a circle hook on here, a treble hook, or a J hook. Depending on what's going on, that determines what we're fishing for. If the kingfish are biting really good, we'll use a treble hook. This is what is called a kingfish treble. What you want to do is a standard haywire twist, which is twisting the 2 wires around each other, so it looks just like a haywire twist, and then a barrel wrap to finish it off. And then you want to bend your wire to break it off. You don't want to cut this off because you'll have a burr to snag your finger. So you don't have to do a big elaborate. If it's done right, a few wraps will hold tight. Now aboard the Thomas Flyer, we don't like to use swivels, so we go straight leader to our wire. So what I like to use is a direct leader to wire combination. I don't like to use a swivel. If you want to use a swivel, you can put a small swivel, tie your leader to it. Bend your wire over, go through the bend with your leader. We're using 50-pound fluoro, but you can use 50-pound mono or 40-pound mono, whatever you want. Go around 6 times, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you want to go back out the same way you came in. Wet your knot, pull it down tight. It'll cinch down just like that. And again, you don't want to cut it, you want to kink it off. That way you don't have any burr hanging out, because it will find your finger every single time. Then just cut off your tag end, and you have a swivel-less connection. This is just as strong as tying it to a swivel, and there's just one less thing going through the water. Now there are times when we start getting some short strikes. Usually big fish aren't going to make a short strike because they're big enough to suck down the whole bait. There are times we're using really big baits like a big blue runner or a speedo, so even a big fish might have a short strike. So in that case, we want to add a stinger hook. So you can get your piece of wire leader, another piece of wire leader, and I go back to the eye of the original hook, whether you're using a circle hook, a treble, it's irrelevant, just go back to the eye, tie your leader on with the haywire, and depending on the size of your bait, that'll determine how far you want to make your stinger rig. So if you're using a 12-inch bait, maybe you want to go about 10 inches back. If you're using an 8-inch bait, maybe go 6 inches back. So we'll figure that we're using a big blue runner. So we're going to go about 6 inches. Get some pliers that cut. You can put a J hook, a circle hook, a treble hook. Now, if you're in a tournament, most tournaments are circle hooks only. So I would go with a circle hook as your main hook, and then a circle hook back. But we're just going to go with the J hook behind this. You can put the J hook first, the treble hook second. Really doesn't make any difference. Twist it on with your haywire twist, your barrel wrap. Break the wire off. Now you've got your rig with a stinger. Now, like I said, you can put the J hook first, your stinger hook second, 2 circle hooks, whatever suits the type of fishing you're doing. What we like to do is the first hook of the stinger go up through the nose of the bait, and then the second hook, wherever it lays, you hook it through his back. You don't want to have it really tight because then he's not going to be able to swim. So you want to have a little bit of slack in there that gives him some wiggling room. That'll stop any of those short bites that you might get. For more great tips like this, go to Captain Rick Murphy's YouTube channel.